Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today at this public hearing to determine how our emergency community development block grant funds are going to be used. As an entitlement community, the City of York has received funds from the CARES Act to prevent, prepare for, and respond to the novel coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. The city will receive Community Development Block Grant Program funds in the amount of $889,582. The city has prepared a substantial amendment to its 2019 Annual Action Plan, which describes the city's proposed use of these funds. The public may access this hearing by calling 717-849-1425. The city will accept written comments from the public via email at jcrosby@yorkcity.org. That's jcrosby@yorkcity.org as part of this public meeting. These comments are sent to HUD as part of our regular reporting. That's the Federal Housing and Urban Development Department. Copies of the substantial amendment are available for public inspection and review from May 1st through May 18th, 2020 on the City of York's website, www.yorkcity.org. Copies of the document may also be emailed or mailed via United States Postal Service upon request. The amendment will be provided in alternative formats to persons with special needs and limited English proficiency. Please contact the City of York Bureau of Housing Services at 717-849-2264 if you require an alternate participation format. The city has also amended its Citizen Participation Plan, which outlines the city's responsibilities for obtaining citizen comment on the consolidated plan, annual plans, plan amendments, the analysis of impediments to fair housing choice, the consolidated annual performance and evaluation report, and any Section 108 loan application should the city undertake one. The CPP will be on public display online at the city's website, yorkcity.org, through May 18th, 2020. The CPP will also be emailed or mailed upon request. The city intends to submit the substantial amendment to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development on or before May 22nd, 2020. City Council will have the substantial amendment on the May 19th, 2020 agenda during the regular meeting beginning at 6 p.m. Available to the public via the city's public access TV channel, WRCT. Interested persons are encouraged to express their views on the substantial amendment via email by sending comments to the Bureau of Housing Services, again, at jcrosby@yorkcity.org. jcrosby@yorkcity.org. All comments received by May 18th, 2020 will be considered. Please let them know that the plan will be, let them know, that's directing me, sorry about that. The plan will be on our website for comment until May 18th, the day before council meeting. The following activities are planned to be funded: public services, emergency aid to families, other public services, economic development, small business relief, public facilities, to the health clinic. And here is the breakdown of these different parts of the funding. Again, this is approximately $889,000 that is being split into these different uses. First, we have emergency aid to families. This will be the largest portion, $375,000 to emergency aid to families, and this will be used to fund rental assistance and financial education by local partner agencies. Next, we have the Small Business Relief Program. That is the second largest piece of the pie, and that will be $300,000. And this assistance will be provided to eligible city businesses owned by city residents in the form of direct grants. There will be when these application processes roll out, there will be information. Please do not ask how to apply. This is a hearing on applying these funds to these uses. Next, we have public facilities, the health clinic. So this is assisting our Bureau of Health in health clinic upgrades, and that's $41,582. That would be the smallest portion of the pie. Actually, no, we have Public Services Food Bank. So in this particular grant, it's $38,000. And this will go to local food banks' efforts to increase capacity and families served. But I want people to know that we are also supporting food banks through other funds. So this is just the Cdbg funds. Next, we have public services. So this is to support the nonprofits that will be supporting the public. They also need to pay their employees and other costs. That will be $50,000 broadly. And then there's another $10,000 that we've already assigned to Bell Socialization Services, which will be one of our nonprofit partners that will be providing rental assistance. And finally, we have the administration of the funds, the internal costs of administering funds. Generally, that's 15 to 20%. We were able to keep that under 10% for this particular round of funding at $75,000, and that goes to administer the supplemental Cdbg dollars, both staff time and consultants and any other needed costs. So that is the summation of the hearing, and I will take calls at this time. Of course, I would suggest that it is even better to directly contact us with your thoughts in an email, but this is a hearing so that people can address us now. So the phone number again is 717-849-1425.
Mr. Mayor, can you restate that information on these individual programs will be forthcoming, but that's not what is happening at this hearing?
Yes, this is a hearing to determine if, in general, these funds can be used for these purposes. We will have, after these funds are approved, we need to set up agreements with the nonprofits that will utilize the funds. We need to announce application processes. For instance, the business assistant grants will be done internally with staff members, myself, and city council members as the grants committee.
There has been no public comment virtually at this time.
No comment virtually. Well, this is being recorded and it will be on the City of York's Facebook page. It'll be available on demand at White Rose Television, and it will be posted. I see a couple of our other elected officials here. Thank you for coming, City Controller Alice Ann Frost and City Councilman Lou Rivera. I'm sure you will be posting on this and making sure that the public is informed. Thank you so much for that. And hearing nothing further, we are available. And again, please contact us directly with any comments that you may have up until May 18th. And with that, this hearing is adjourned. I'd like to go, or not. We will take one call. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Mr. Mayor, I'd really like to commend you for being able to receive these funds for the city. I have a couple of questions as a business owner. In downtown York, businesses are disproportionately owned by people of color. I want to know, are there any measures that are going to be taken to make sure that the distributions are proportionate to the number of businesses of color? Secondly, I wanted to know, is there going to be some kind of cap as far as businesses' revenue? Are large businesses that have large revenue streams going to have the same eligibility as businesses that do not have large revenue streams and income streams? Thank you.
Well, thank you. This is a public hearing, and normally I would not respond directly to the questions. However, you brought up an important part about the restrictions on business funding from the Cdbg money, so I will share that now. These funds are restricted by the federal government to micro businesses. So these are businesses with 5 employees or less, and they are restricted to city businesses owned by city residents. And I can assure you that we have representation. I'm still waiting for one more council person to be appointed, but we have representation from the Latino community and the African American community on the grant committee. So I'm certain that all folks will be represented, and we will do a good job of making sure that things are follow the demographics of the city.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I did adjourn, but I'll give it another minute. Anybody else? Going once? Now, with that, we will adjourn the hearing. And I just wanted to make a few comments quick. Our wonderful director of White Rose Television is actually off for a couple of days. So instead of being in my office, we're just going to take this opportunity to come to you right now with my Mayor's Monday message. And I would like to, first of all, congratulate and thank everybody involved in Give Local York. It was, in this time of struggle, it was just heartening to see that we not only made a goal of $3.4 million, but exceeded $3.5 million from over 11,000 donors going out to 305 different organizations that support our community. And I just want to thank everyone. I know how hard some of the folks, including Philip, who I didn't acknowledge before, but I will now, including Philip Given and his incredible wife, Megan, how much they put into this, and all their friends and family that participated in the 24 hours of immediate grueling work, but all of the preparation up to that point. So thank you, everybody, and thank you, York, for coming through for the nonprofit organizations that support us year-round. I've got some updated numbers for the city of York. We've got, for the COVID cases, for coronavirus cases, we have now 248 cases in the city of York. So that puts us about 1 out of every 200 of us. Is that right? Has gotten the coronavirus, and 4 people have passed away. So nobody since my last message, I don't believe, but condolences to those families. We have 679 cases in York County with 11 deaths. From the calculations I did last night, even though York is 8th in population, so we have the 8th most people in Pennsylvania, we are at 22nd for the number of deaths in Pennsylvania. That is an incredible number, and we are 15th for the number of cases. So per capita, we are down around number 25 or 27 with only, I'm trying to remember the numbers from looking them up last night. I think it was, I don't want to guess the number. I think it was around 153 per 100,000, which puts us way down on the list. So York has been doing incredibly well. Our Bureau of Health was out front on this, preparing with our emergency services and our fire department and our police department. We were preparing for this back in January. And I believe that this kind of preparation and the fact that we have a Bureau of Health, only one of 10 municipalities in the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that has a Bureau of Health, we were able to get in front of this, and it really does show. We're now working with Lancaster to try and help them. They have got 10 times as many deaths right over in Lancaster, and I think about 3 times or 4 times the amount of cases that we have had. So we're trying to help our friends across the river. And in this kind of situation, you can't ever say exactly what causes success and what causes tragedy. But I certainly believe that our ability to work with the Pennsylvania Department of Health and get way out front of this, to call a state of emergency before we even had our first case here in York County, that has really put us in the best position that we could be in. One of the things that is really great about this is, as we are all very anxious to get back to our normal lives, the governor's requirements for opening up different regions or different counties are that we have fewer than 50 cases per 100,000 over a 14-day period. So that means we have to continuously have fewer than 50 cases over that 14-day period. We are now 4 days in to having below 50 cases over a 14 period. We are at 44.1 cases. Now remember, this is countywide. We are at 44.1 cases per 100,000 per 14 days. That's the measurement. This should be an incentive for us, and it's a call to action for us, because if we go above that 50, if we go above the 50, we are not opening back up. We have to maintain this number. We have to do everything that we can. Every one of you out there, you have a job, and it's your job to get us out of this situation. So it is your job to not only wear your masks, keep your businesses closed, use your sanitizer, all of those things, but also remember, your family members, your friends, if they're not following these rules, they're the ones that could mess it up for all of us. We all have to be in this together. I don't care how much of a rebel you are or how much you don't like the government, whatever it is. At this point in time, we have a simple metric to meet, and that's fewer than 50 cases over the next 10 days. And that'll get us on the path back to getting to work, back to getting paychecks, back to being able to do the things that we want to do and we're used to doing as normal Americans. I need everybody, particularly in the city, where our cases are higher than anywhere else in the county. I need people in the city to continue to follow the rules. None of the rules have changed except for construction is now allowed. Other than that, the same rules that have been in place for the last few weeks are the rules now. So the same business closures. I don't want to see any more Facebook announcements of, oh, we're opening on Monday. No, you're not. Multiple people have tried that, and guess what? They got a visit from us, and those businesses were closed. I don't want to hear about landlords telling people that they're evicted. No, they're not. They have until May 11th, and we are still awaiting a court decision, or I should say, an explanation from our courts about whether or not there will be an extension. So unfortunately today, I'm going to have to call some landlords who are not acting appropriately. This is an order from the Supreme Court and working down through the Attorney General to us, and we will enforce it. The York City Police will enforce the no eviction rule. So no one can be evicted right now until May 11th for the reason of not having money to pay. Again, the parks are open only for individual activities or activities where people are constantly staying 6 feet apart from one another. No football, no baseball, no basketball, no playing on the playground equipment. That's one I'm really worried about. The kids, so many kids touching that plastic, and the plastic holds the COVID virus. Then the next kid comes through. We've got to be safe. If we continue to do all of these things, we'll keep the number of cases down for the next 10 days, and we believe then that we can approach the governor and ask him to start the reopening process. I'm anxious too, but we've got to do this in the right way. And also, if we then go up above 50, there's a potential we could get shut down again. So we're in the home stretch. We can beat this. We are beating this. But we could lose it just as we're ready to grasp our freedom again. So please, everyone, again, take this very seriously. I have one more announcement, and that is that for business complaints, for concerns about businesses that are not following the guidance, we now have a new link from the Pennsylvania Department of Health. You can probably Google Pennsylvania DOH business complaints. I'm not going to read out the HTTPS / and all this stuff, but I will make sure that I make a post about this.
I just put it in the comments.
Right after I leave. Okay, and Philip just put it in the comment section. Wonderful, thank you. And I'll make a separate post and send that around to all the different pages that we've been working through. And thank you to all those folks that monitor and help us with those pages. You've been great assistance in getting the word out there and getting comments back to us and giving us the ability to respond to them in a timely fashion. So thank you, everybody. Thank you again, Controller Alisanne Frost and Councilman Lou Rivera, for joining us here today. And thank you, Philip, for after such a long week you had last week. Thank you for making it out bright and early on a Monday morning to join us. So thank you, everybody. And again, I won't see you around the city, but if we all work together, I will see you really soon. Have a good week.